Hey everybody, how are you? Jim Prusek here, physical therapist at the Pain PT. And today we're going to talk about the secondary reaction. Okay, the secondary reaction. Now, for many of you guys, you may know what this is, but for those you don't, the secondary reaction is just like it sounds. It's the subsequent reaction you have to the primary reaction. So let's start with the primary reaction. The primary reaction is your symptom. Is this thing you feel in your body that is arising in you that you're having trouble with or that you're trying to get over, something you're dealing with. Okay, it's the symptom basically. So that's your primary reaction. The secondary reaction is the reaction to the symptom. Okay, so let's say you have a back pain or a headache or fatigue or something in your stomach, and the symptom comes up. And then how you react to it after that is the secondary reaction. Now, why is the secondary reaction really important to talk about? Well, it's really important because when you have the secondary reaction, you can imagine it as being a little, the primary reaction is like this. The secondary reaction is another one that can go and make something bigger. Okay, it's sort of like pouring a little bit more fuel on a fire or a spark. It can spark it even bigger. Or the secondary reaction can keep it going longer. It takes longer for it to settle down, or it doesn't settle down at all. Okay. So the secondary reaction, obviously, the way we're talking about it today is a negative reaction. Okay. Some people get what? Worried, anxious, concerned, feeling freaked out, frustrated, annoyed, in despair, hopeless, berating themselves, complaining, thinking for the worst. It's never going to get better. What if this happens now? Oh no. Right. So anything that's negative that your brain does or that you do in reaction to the symptom, okay, we need to stop. Simply, we got to stop doing this because the secondary reaction, again, doesn't allow the primary reaction to settle down. Okay, if you're getting negative and freaking out, getting more anxious, getting more frustrated, right? You're focusing on it, you're worrying about it, you're fixating on it, you're all these things. How is it going to settle down? You're creating more stress on top of a primary stress reaction. So we need to remove the secondary reaction, guys. And there's a couple of reasons why we want to do that. The first one being there's nothing wrong. Okay. You didn't have an injury with these conditions. It's not the end of the world. The symptom can be really, really intense, even, but if there's no structural issue in the body, there's nothing you need to do on a structural level. We do need to go to the mind. We do need to go to the brain and look up there and say, what's going on? Okay, so we want to go back and work to put out the primary reaction or let the primary reaction go or understand the primary reaction. Okay, we don't want to be freaking out over the primary reaction. Okay, so we want to respond. We want to respond. Okay, we want to be conscious. We want to be able to work to allow the fire to go away or put the fire out. Makes sense, right? But so many people are having these secondary reactions that are very negative, and they're blowing up a small little spark of a symptom or some type of symptom and making it into something way worse. Secondary reaction. Give you a story of this. Lady I worked with had some tooth pain, dental pain, had some kind of trauma, some kind of issue with the surgeries or with procedures, developed some chronic pain in her mouth. Okay, went and got checked out, couldn't find anything wrong, fixed everything. Everything was fine. The pain finally settles down, goes down, 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 down. Gets back to a place feeling a bit better. Then what happens? Goes back for another dental treatment. Treatment's actually fine. The treatment was great. But boom, pain starts up again in the mouth. Why? Well, the brain remembers everything. The unconscious, it's all in the unconscious, guys. Conscious has an association maybe with that dentist, as a very negative one, and maybe some fear, some worry. So boom, some pain starts up. Now, that is a primary reaction. Okay, it's a primary reaction. Now, instead of putting that fire out quickly and saying, okay, yeah, oh yeah, this makes sense why this pain's coming. It has nothing to do with the procedure. I just had everything went fine. This is totally my brain because of the reasons I just said. Relax, calm down, you're fine. No, don't worry, this thing will fade away. It's just fear and conditioning and learning and memory. Fine. But instead of doing that, the person had a secondary reaction and another reaction. So you can have not only secondary reaction, you have a third reaction, the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, and you just blow the thing up and it gets way worse. And this, for this person, it's exactly what happened. It got way worse and it lasted for way longer than it should. And then you have to start coming out of it, making your recovery again. Okay, so I just want to point this out to you guys because the secondary reaction, really important you catch it. Now, you might have a little bit of it because it's also automated. It's also an automatic reaction from your limbic brain. Okay, so we get something, whoop, symptom, and it's uncomfortable, it's painful. The unconscious brain, whoop, you react. Okay, that's very normal to have a little bit of that reaction, but how quickly can you come in and turn it off? How quickly can you come in and either reassure the brain, calm the brain down, or even just let the brain know, hey, this is not what's going on here. I know what this is. Start to see what's happening and do not go down the rabbit hole of just reacting negatively because you're just not going to help yourself get better. It's that simple. Sometimes for people, that's the major problem is that they had some stress or they had something at one point, had a symptom, even a real physical symptom from injury. And then they started, worrying about it, catastrophizing, getting anxious. And then that keeps the symptom alive. So that's the major area we have to work on. So let's remove the secondary reaction, guys. Let's catch your own negative secondary reactions as much as you can. Drop them, let them go, identify them, replace them with something else. Tell your brain what's going on. You know what this is. This is nothing to be worried, concerned about. It's all stress-related stuff from the brain. If you have some physical issue, go get it treated. But most of the stuff we're talking about here, the stuff I'm treating with people, it's not due to a structural issue in the body. It's due to the emotional brain. Okay. So let's work to ameliorate these secondary reactions. And then once we do that, let's go and work on the primary one. We'll talk about it another time, but you want to work on the primary reaction. That's where you want your energy to be, to understand it, work with it. And I've talked about a lot of the strategies already here, how we do that. So guys, have a great day. Let's get after and stop our secondary reactions to our symptoms. Take care.